What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day today and I hope it gets even better from watching this video. Today I am so excited because we're talking about a topic that has literally had me in a chokehold. This has been so much of what I've been thinking about and talking about in therapy and working through in my personal life, and I just need to spew it out. I need to get it out and share it with you guys because it's been so helpful. So today we're going to talk about how to actually heal and regulate your nervous system. I'm going to give you a list of very practical things you can do that are first of all scientifically backed, but they also genuinely work because I've literally tried them all out and I feel a lot better. And if I do these consistently, my life is completely different, okay? And obviously, this list is not there for you to follow it step by step. This is literally just a list of things that definitely work, and then you can pick and choose the ones that you want to try, and then obviously the ones you actually want to stick to and become consistent with. I think the reason why this topic has been so prevalent for me is I don't think I've ever had a regulated nervous system, if I'm completely honest, at least not that I can remember. Maybe as a child I was happily running around and I just don't recall. But about a year ago, I went through a very traumatic event, and it really gave me a huge wake-up call that I have to work through this, because when you go through a very stressful event, it can really throw off your nervous system completely. And for me, it felt like every little thing I had to do that used to not stress me out at all was the biggest deal in the world. And just everything was stressful. My sleep was impacted. I really didn't sleep well at all. Even if I slept for 8 hours, I just felt like I wasn't getting quality sleep. I felt like I wasn't fully there throughout the day. I was kind of stuck in fight or flight all the time. And my brain was constantly looking for danger everywhere. And it is so exhausting. And a year later, it's so much better, obviously, but I definitely still feel the effects of that. And that was a big wake-up call recently to where I was okay, I need to do something about this. I can't think my way out of this. And that's the thing, our survival brain is outside of our conscious awareness. And that part of our brain doesn't communicate through words, thoughts, or narratives, but through strong sensations and emotions in the body. So that's why you can't fully think or talk yourself out of trauma. You need to work with the body, and that's exactly what this video is about and all these practices are about. I actually started exploring some of these exercises through therapy, and I really wanted to include this because my therapist brought something up that moved something in here, and I feel it might be worth sharing if anyone else is like this. I always thought I don't need this kind of work. I am not that stressed. I'm not that anxious, just because in my mind, I was I'm not a panicker, so we're good. And my therapist brought me straight back down to earth and was no, you do panic. You just express it in a different way. So what I mean by that, I don't outwardly panic. I basically disappear. I dissociate, I disconnect from myself. It's a feeling of fog going over you. It's basically you numbing yourself so you can then just continue living your life somewhat functionally. And you can basically do that for so long until it catches up to you. And that's the point where I got to. So that's why we're here. So I definitely think therapy can be really helpful. I mean, I learned so much of this in therapy. And I'm also someone who just likes to know why I am the way I am, why I have the issues that I have, why I have the patterns that I have, the beliefs. It's so helpful for me to know that. I really think that an awareness of a problem is a problem half solved. You just getting it really just switches something in your brain. It's that aha moment of oh, I finally get it. And it's so funny because usually it's right in front of your face and you just don't get it. And then you're oh, that's why I have abandonment issues, or that's why I'm stressed out of my mind, or that's why I think that if I show my real emotions, people will leave, etc. It's so helpful. So that's where BetterHelp comes in, and they are the partner of today's video. Therapy for me has really changed the way I feel and the way I process and deal with the tough things that happen in my life. So whether you're struggling with nervous system dysregulation, loneliness, a rut, or just a seasonal shift in mood, social burnout, or just feeling off, therapy can really be that steady support system. A therapist can help you understand what's really going on emotionally and really just guide you through those harder seasons that you're dealing with. And therapy isn't just for when things completely fall apart. It's also for those moments when something just feels off and you can't really explain why. BetterHelp is basically making it a lot easier for you to start therapy from anywhere online. You just fill out a short questionnaire and you get matched with a licensed and a credentialed therapist in as little as a few days. And if your first therapist isn't a good fit, you can actually switch anytime at no extra cost. And with 7,000 plus reviews and a 4.3 Trustpilot rating, BetterHelp is definitely a platform you can trust. So click the link in the description box or go to betterhelp.com/Nika and get 10% off your first month of therapy. Alrighty, with all those crucial things out of the way that I felt like I really needed to mention, let's get into all these exercises. Some of these are even like little shifts in your day-to-day life. So very easy to implement and doesn't take a lot of time or energy. And you don't need a complete lifestyle change because those things can often be stressful. So pick and choose what works for you and let's get into it. Okay, the first one on this list is actually the first one that I tried. That was, I can't even put it into words how helpful this was, especially if you do it consistently. And that's a body scan, and specifically a guided body scan meditation. You just type that into YouTube and there's so many guided meditations. They're usually around 15 minutes and you basically just lie down and it takes you through the process of you scanning your body from the top of your head to your feet. So you're just bringing your awareness to different parts of the body and you're basically just focusing on your breath and just observing. It's so accessible and easy because it's guided. I feel like a lot of different kinds of meditations can be very intimidating, at least to me, especially if I'm just trying to sit there and meditate by myself. So I feel like this is very easy, but it's also gonna teach you to become very aware of your body. Because again, we're not trying to think or talk our way out of this. We're really using the body. And the great thing about this is that our body is very simple. Like you experience a scenario in your body, like tightness in your chest, like a weird feeling in your throat, like that is your body communicating with you. And it's very simple. Our brain can be overwhelming and really complicated. And I feel like it lies to us all the time. Like it's hard to know what you can trust and what's actually real. So the body is so simple, and having that awareness of your body, which you can very easily learn through something like this, really helps you to then notice these things a lot more as you're going throughout the day. So when something happens, now you can actually pick up on the cues that your body is giving you, and then maybe do some of the things on this list that can help your body to calm down and process these things. The next one is, again, the second one that I tried. And this is all thanks to my therapist. I'm sure there was like a reason why he gave me all of these in this order. And it's a very grounding exercise that you can literally do anywhere. You place your feet on the ground and you really like focus on that sensation. You take 3 deep breaths. It's helpful to like reaffirm and like tell yourself, I'm safe. And then the main part of this is that you're gonna point out 3 things that you see in your environment. So instead of just going computer, microphone, camera, I would go computer, it's gray and black, the screen is lit up, like you focus a little bit more on it and then you move on to the next one. If you need a little bit more, you can focus on other sensations as well. So 3 things you can smell, 3 things you can hear, 3 things you can taste. That can be really helpful just to ground yourself and bring your nervous system down to like a more regulated place. Next one is somatic exercises, and I'm sure you've heard of this if you've ever done any kind of nervous system regulation research. So this might sound a little bit repetitive to you, but I feel like it's one of the most helpful things when it comes to actually processing and releasing these stuck emotions and this stress and trauma that's been basically trapped in your body for God knows how long. I'm definitely not an expert at this. This is new to me. So what I've been doing is literally just putting in YouTube somatic exercises routine, or like somatic yoga flow. And it basically gives you like a few different exercises, a whole flow you can just fully follow. And then once you've tried a lot of different ones, you can just make up your own little routine of like exercises that you feel like really work for you or make you feel really good. This is so helpful and such a great like practice or routine to have. I'm working on building a routine where I do this every single morning. You don't have to do this in the morning, obviously. That's just the time that works for me, because otherwise I always say I'll do it later, and like later never arrives. So I do it in the morning. The next one is something that I actually learned recently, and it's chanting. So like obviously I've seen or heard of chanting a lot, but I didn't actually know the like benefits that it had, and it's amazing. So there was a study done where they discovered that chanting actually lowers your stress index more than sleeping, which is just wild to me. And it also raises your immunity, it lowers your heart rate, you get better lung function, it even helps with like a stuffy nose. There's so many benefits to it, but it's just insane to me that it lowers your stress index more than sleeping. And again, it's just such an easy thing to add to your little toolbox so you can pull it out whenever you need it. And you can just do a couple of ohms and that's it. You don't even need to focus on like sitting correctly in like a meditation pose. It doesn't matter. The next one is another thing that I learned recently that was so amazing. I watched this TED Talk. I'll try to find it and link it down below. Please remind me if I forget. The TED Talk was basically all about how play can significantly help regulate your nervous system. And that's amazing because that's basically you making sure that you do more things that are fun to you. Play basically helps you to feel energized, engaged, connected, and it puts you in that flow state. We really shouldn't have stopped focusing on play after childhood because research actually shows that adults who don't play are less imaginative, curious, and they experience less spontaneous joy. And play for us is actually a lot better if you include other people. So your friends, your family, whoever, and this can be so many different things. Like it can be playing badminton, it can be building something out of Lego, like dancing in your kitchen, playing with your dog. So right now, write down 3 things that help you experience more fun, joy, connection, flow, and laughter, and just start playing more. Like we're so serious. We definitely have the time because so many of us are wasting so much time on social media. So just replace some of that with some good childish play. Another exercise I absolutely need to mention is breath work. Obviously, you can look into different ways to do breath work, like box breathing, 4-7-8 breathing. There's so many like guided breath work exercises on YouTube that you can check out. I just focus on my breath. Like it's really become a practice where throughout the day I just make sure that I'm actually like breathing deeply, fully. Another thing that I really love to do when I'm like experiencing something a little bit more stressful or frustrating, I breathe in and then I do a big sigh. So like that really helps. Another one is shaking out your body. This is, I think, part of somatic exercises. This is, again, so easy to do. You literally just shake in a way that feels good. That's all it is. This is actually really natural for us to do. Animals do this in the wild. So when an animal is being chased, if it escapes, that was obviously a very stressful experience. So you'll notice that a lot of animals shake afterwards to release that like stress that's otherwise stuck in our bodies. Try this out if you're having a stressful day. You can do this every morning, every evening. It doesn't have to be this like strict routine. Just do it whenever it feels good. The next one is a little just simple tweak and a practice, and it's to do regular things that you already do throughout your day in a lot calmer and more present way. So instead of, for example, cooking and eating while watching a show or a YouTube video or something, you're doing it without all the distractions. You can put on some relaxing music if you want to, but just doing things in a calmer, more present, mindful way. Another example, if you go on walks and you constantly listen to podcasts, like that's another way to basically distract yourself and you're not really present in the moment. So just finding simple ways to be more present and calm. So you can obviously wake up and rush and quickly chug your coffee, brush your teeth, like rush to the bus, to the train, whatever. And that can be a very, very stressful way to start your day. So doing things in a calmer way, like maybe waking up a little bit earlier so you have more time, so you can have a little ritual of making your tea and like sipping it slowly while you stare out the window, or just brushing your teeth more calmly, like just again dropping into the body, taking a few deep breaths, and just like noticing things around us. So often we're rushing so much and we don't realize how actually stressful that is for our bodies, especially if you do that all the time. The biggest difference for me has been to focus on having a like nervous system regulated morning routine. I made a whole video about different habits you can introduce into your mornings that will help to regulate your nervous system. So I'll link that down below. But that has been very significant for me just because it starts my day off on the right foot and it keeps me in a state where I'm mindful of these things. So I'm a lot more likely to notice that I'm rushing or stressing or like holding my breath or that I have tension throughout the day if I do these things in the morning, if that makes sense, because I have such a relaxing morning. So then I notice such a big difference when I'm stressing or rushing, holding my breath, doing all these things. So highly recommend just having a practice where you're focusing on doing things more calmly. Alrighty guys, that is all the tips I've got for you today. Let me know if you want to see like a nighttime routine or nighttime habits that help to regulate your nervous system and get better sleep. That obviously affects our nervous system so much and just our health in general. So I'll gladly do that if you guys want to see it. But I really hope this video was helpful. If it was, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe. You can also check out my social media if you want to see more of my personal life. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you really, really soon.